Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Legend Commentaries here, and I want to talk to you today about intelligence. And not about whether you're smart or dumb, or whether you use the right form of your in League of Legends and people rage at you, or whether or not you pick up skills quickly. I want to talk about how you use it, and where it comes from. And I think that, first and foremost, nature versus nurture, that whole argument, is something that's extremely valid when you're talking about just people in general and why they do what they do. And the argument in kind of a generalization is, are you born with your intelligence? Like maybe I was meant from day one when I was born in my genes. I have a gene combination that makes it more likely that I'm going to want to speak in front of people, that I am going to have a voice that's not, terrible for commentary, and then I'm going to be able to play games like League of Legends, that I have the mechanical skill to do that to an extent where I can at least get gameplay for you guys. And maybe that is something that I was always capable of doing, and that because I got a computer placed in front of me, I was able to execute and become successful at. But then there are the other people who say that it's because of how you're raised or what you do in your life. For example, I was a Boy Scout, and that thrust us into this environment where you have to be outgoing. You have to talk to the people in your troop because your parents aren't there for you. They are off in their own area, and you have to kind of survive on your own. And it's not like a survival actual arena where you're like battling to the death, but you have to thrive, and you want to have fun as a kid. So you start talking to people, and you start being more outgoing. And then there was also, great speech teachers that I had in my university that helped me out a lot, and that kind of thing. So whether or not I was raised like that, if I learn enough of it, then I could do this, and I could be a YouTuber. And I want to get your guys' opinions on that, because I think it's a really, really interesting question. Whether or not we come from what is in our DNA, which we're pretty close to unraveling, actually, and in my lifetime for sure. I'm almost 20, and I'm definitely going to see it unraveled, and I don't even know what's going to come out of that. I have no idea of the implications that's going to have and the ways that's going to affect our lives. But I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fantastic to witness. As our whole DNA sequence, in essence, is going to be unraveled, and we'll be able to see why we do the things we do after studying it and seeing patterns and what kind of different people have different sequences, in their genes. And it's going to be amazing. Of course, everyone has the same actual DNA sequence, but I mean, has to have different genes, etc., to cause them to look different, to behave different, to act different, to learn differently. And I think that no matter how it actually is, regardless of whether or not you learn more through nature or nurture, whether you're born the way you are or whether or not you learn it, there is the ability to always improve yourself. And honestly, there's such a hate online of reading. I don't know what that is. I guess it's like kind of a sarcastic hate in the gamer community and in the internet community in general, like, oh, who reads? But I think that's honestly the reason why I consider myself intellectual. Why I was able to get into a pretty good college, and why I was able to, perform well on SATs. Not to say that's an accurate measure of your intelligence by any means, but, it's a test, and you take it, and it's supposed to measure that. So, you can do well on that and feel good about it. And I did, and I think that part of that is because I read. I think that's a great part of your life. And, last chat with Nuggles, I called you to exercise. And I hope you guys have done it. I really hope so. And I hope to look back in the comments and see that a week later some of you guys are feeling magnificent. But what's even more important than that, not more important, but what's equally important is your mind. Because like your body, you only get one. You've only got one chance to make it amazing. And you've only got one chance to live your life and use it. Because ultimately, your body is not going to affect in the same way what you do in your life as your mind is. So, treating it with respect, in respect to all kinds of substances, alcohol, drugs, that kind of thing, in moderation, I don't have a problem with. I don't even have a problem with it if you want to, go out and do it every single night, every day of the month, because I think you have your own right to do what you want. But I also think that you need to take a personal responsibility. I would never do that, because I think that it's too important to have, your mind under your control and to be able to say that it's yours, and you've honed it, and you don't need any enhancements. You don't need any caffeine or that kind of thing to make yourself better. You don't need to cheat on tests to perform well. That you have put the effort into exercising that muscle in your body, so that your mind can do it all on its own. You can learn better. You can retain information better. You can develop habits better. And I'm going to talk about stress too, because stress is just an amazing part of what makes you able to function, or at least me able to function. Maybe I work differently than you guys, and I'm sure that's very true. But we're going to talk about that next time. Leave me a comment about intelligence, what you think about nature versus nurture, and what you think about your own intelligence. And this has been Legend Commentaries with another chat with Nuggles. Let me know if you guys want me to continue doing these, and I will be more than happy to talk about these with you guys as much as you want. This has been Legend Commentaries. Once again, love you guys, and goodbye.